സ്വീദന ജീവിതേ.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. You're with me, Shehan Ranatunga. Now, before we get into your news in detail, let's take a quick look at your headlines.
Landslide warnings issued to 4 districts. Heavy showers in many areas. Handing over of appointment letters to graduates to take place this evening. Draft of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution to be presented to the Cabinet. US President Donald Trump visits Kenosha not to comfort Blake family but to back police.
We've been experiencing a slightly unusual bout of weather. Now, to tell us all about this, we've got Charlan Benedict over at our weather center. Good afternoon, Charlan. Tell us about the weather.
Good afternoon, Shehan. Now, due to the low-level atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of Sri Lanka, showers and thunder showers have been forecasted for the coming 24 hours. Now, showers or thunder showers exceeding 100 millimeters have been forecasted according to the Department of Meteorology. Now, strong winds of up to 70 to 80 kilometers per hour can also be expected in many places across the island. The Department of Meteorology also warns the general public to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning. Now, during heavy rainstorms, one area that we really focus on is the coastal belt of Sri Lanka and how much rain those areas will experience. Now, according to the Department of Meteorology, heavy showers may occur in the deep and shallow sea areas off the coast extending from Galle to Trincomalee via Hambantota. Now, winds will be westerly to southwesternly in the sea areas extending from Puttlam to Galle via Colombo, and southwesternly in other sea areas around the island. The wind speed in these areas will be around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, and the wind speeds can increase up to 50 to 55 kilometers per hour at times in sea areas extended from Mena to Pothuwil via Puttlam, Colombo, Galle, Mathura and Hambantota. Now, the areas extending from Mena to Pothuwil via Puttlam, Galle, Mathura and Hambantota, the sea areas can be rough at times. Now, these have also been announced by the Department of Meteorology. Now, the inclement weather conditions that were experienced in Sri Lanka has caused minor damages in certain areas around the country. According to the Disaster Management Center, about 202 houses have suffered damages due to the inclement weather conditions. Now, heavy rains have been experienced in certain areas around the country as well. Now, although the Department of Meteorology predicted rains above 100 millimeters in certain areas across the country, some areas in the country have received rainfall exceeding that by quite a substantial amount. Specifically, in the Kalutara district, the areas of Agalavatta received 344 millimeters of rain, while Vellavavita received 290 millimeters of rain. Keselhena, also in the Kalutara district, received 252 millimeters of rain. Other districts that experienced very heavy rainfall compared to the rest of the island were the Galle district, the Gampaha district, also the Colombo district. Hangwell experienced 270 millimeters of rainfall, and in the Galle district, the area of Vadakapola experienced 196 millimeters of rainfall. And finally, in the Ratnapura district, the Ahaliagoda Divisional Secretariat, the area coming under the purview of the Ahaliagoda Divisional Secretariat, experienced 154 millimeters of rainfall. Now, these are some of the areas that experienced the heaviest rainfalls in Sri Lanka. Reminding you again that the Department of Meteorology has forecasted rains exceeding 100 millimeters in many areas of the country for the coming 24 hours. So if you are on your way out of your home, or if you are leaving your workplace this evening, it would be wise to carry an umbrella with you because of the heavy rainfall. Now, with the inclement weather conditions also, Another area that we always focus on in our weather reports is landslides that might take place across the country, and the National Building Research Organization has issued landslide warnings to 4 districts in Sri Lanka. The 4 districts are namely the Galle district, the Kalutara district, the Ratnapura district and the Kegalle district. Now specifically the areas where the landslide warning has been issued in these districts, in the Galle district, the areas of Niyagama, Alpetiya, Nagoda and Baddegama. Residents in these areas have been advised to be vigilant as the landslide warning of course has been issued to these areas. And in the Kalutara district, the most number of divisional secretariats, the Matugama, Vellavavita, Ingiriya, Agalawatta, Horana, Bulat Sinhala and Paliyandarannuwara areas in the Kalutara district. Residents in these areas have also been advised to be vigilant of possible landslides in these areas. And finally, in the Ratnapura district, the Ahaliagoda divisional secretariat, the landslide warning has been issued, and in the Kegalle district, the Dehiovita and Yatiyanthura divisional secretariats have been issued with the landslide warning. Now this is of course the current situation in the country as far as the weather is concerned. However, the National Building Research Organization has also warned residents living in areas that are prone to landslides to remain vigilant, as the landslide warnings that have been issued by the NBRO may be varied according to the amount of rainfall that is experienced across the country. And that's your weather update. It's back to the main studios with Shehan Ranathunga.
Several areas along the Galle, Wakpala Road and the Baddegama Mapalagama Road were inundated. Vehicular movement had been hampered as a result. The Milladuwa area and the Labuduwa areas in Galle were also inundated. There were several paddy fields that were nearing the harvesting period that were destroyed due to the rain. A strong wind that blew across the Malabalava area in Ambilipitiya damaged around 15 houses. Landslide warnings have been issued to 4 districts due to the prevalent inclement weather conditions. The warnings have been issued to the Galle, Kalutara, Ratnapura and Kegalle districts. The National Building Research Organization also warned residents living in areas prone to landslides to remain vigilant, as the landslide warnings issued may be varied with the amount of rainfall received in various parts of the island.
Graduates who were recruited as trainees for public services reported to their respective divisional secretariats today.
Its Secretary J.J. Ratnasiri said 50,000 graduates were recruited today. He further noted the selected graduates will be provided with the leadership and management training at government and private institutions for 4 months. The Secretary stated the training period is set as 1 year. During the training period, 20,000 rupees will be provided as an allowance. Meanwhile, appeals can be submitted by the graduates whose names were not included in the list of graduates who are provided with job opportunities till the 12th of this month. The Secretary to the Ministry of Public Services, Provincial Council and Local Government said appeals can be submitted to the Ministry of Public Services, Provincial Council and Local Government or the Presidential Secretariat. The Secretary noted justice would be served following the consideration of the appeals.
Former Ministers Ranjit Madhuba Bandara and Ashu Mara Singha arrived at the police unit attached to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the April 21st attacks.
An official said the former ministers arrived at the police unit of the commission at 9:40 this morning. Leader of the United National Party Ranil Wickremesinghe arrived at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the April 21st attacks on a previous occasion to provide a statement. Meanwhile, former President Maithripala Sirisena, former minister and members of the security forces provided statements to the commission.
Today marks the 69th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
Anniversary celebrations of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party took place today with religious observances under the auspices of the chairman of the party, former President Maithripala Sirisena. Islam religious activities were carried out at the Davatagaha Mosque today in line with 69th anniversary of SLFP. On a day like this in 1951, Then UNP-led government minister SWRD Bandaranaike founded Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Following 5 years of the establishment of the party, an alliance comprising of SLFP and several other parties won the 1956 elections, and SWRD Bandaranaike became the fourth Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Since then, the SLFP, which governed the country in several occasions, had played a major part in the country's development programs and to the sovereignty of the country.
State Minister Piyal Nishanta visited the 16-year-old boy in Matara who was abused by a group of fishermen while at sea.
This 16-year-old boy had gone to the sea on board a multi-day fishing vessel with a group of fishermen on the 28th of June. The group had spent 48 days at the sea, during which the boy had reportedly been abused. The owner of the fishing vessel and 2 others were arrested. State Minister Piyal Nishanta visited this boy at his residence in Mathura yesterday. This house will be constructed. We are making a program for you to pursue your education for 20 years. We are doing all of this because we love you. You can speak with me at any time and let me know what you want. The State Minister made a donation for the reconstruction of the boy's house. One thing I specifically told his parents is that no matter what, we do not have the right to steal the childhood of our children. Some parents are not aware of this.
Minister of Justice Ali Sabri said the draft 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be presented to the Cabinet today.
He added that the draft of the 20th Amendment prepared by the Legal Draftsman's Department was sent to the Attorney General for his consideration. According to the Justice Minister, the Attorney General's observations regarding the draft will be received today. A ministerial subcommittee was appointed at the first cabinet meeting of the new government to abolish the 19th Amendment and draft the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. The ministerial subcommittee consists of ministers Nimal Siripala D. Silva, Dinesh Gunawardena, Udaya Pilla, Professor G.L. Piris and President's Counsel Ali Sabri. Meanwhile, Cabinet spokesperson Minister Kehelia Rambukwala said the Cabinet of Ministers will convene today under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Meanwhile, former parliamentarian Chandima Gamage spoke about the proposed constitutional amendments. They are trying to bring the 20th Amendment to remove the democratic provisions that we introduced through the 19th Amendment. Through the 19th, we brought back independent commissions and gave the public an assurance that the government will continue for 4.5 years. We reduced the powers of the president and included all democratic principles into the governance system of the country. They are trying to change this and create a dictator. They are also saying that provincial councils are not needed. They want to go back to the previous district committee system. They will remove the powers introduced by the 19th Amendment and appoint a group of ministers at a district level from Parliament.
The Gamma the Door-to-Door program underway across all the districts of the island together with the University of Peradeniya is journeying for the 5th day today.
Today, the Gum at the door-to-door teams toured several villages in Mullaitivu, Polonnaruwa and Ratnapura in search of unresolved problems faced by the people. The Gum at the team toured areas in the Polonnaruwa district in 2 groups. One group toured the Ulkatupotha village, falling under the purview of the Hinguragura Divisional Secretariat in the Polonnaruwa district, while another group toured the Puakgaha Ulpatha village in the Bakamuna Divisional Secretariat. The villagers took measures to establish the Gum at the Savya movement in their respective villages. Residents of Ulkatupotha lack clean drinking water. According to the villagers, they are helpless and are even prepared to find a solution on their own. The authorities have failed to provide them with a solution for a very long time.
We have found 3 villages that we are going to go to in order to find their problems and talk to them about the problems they suffer with. Now, a village that we have reached right now is a village that is suffering with three problems. One problem is a lack of a proper bridge. Now, as you can see behind me, this is the only access they have to the main road. If this bridge is flooded during the flood season, they have no access to the roads, and children and the adults themselves have zero access to the main road or any facilities outside. They also suffer with the lack of water and a wild elephant problem due to the lack of an elephant fence.
Another government the team toured the Balangoda area in the Ratnapura district. They're currently touring Valgoda and Pettigala areas. Pettigala is a beautiful village surrounded by a mountain range. The people of this village make a living by plucking tea leaves. The main issues faced by these people is the risk of severe landslides. The Gammadda team is due to travel to several other areas in Balangoda as well. Meanwhile, another team toured several areas in the Mullaitivu district.
Wrap of your lunchtime news on TV1. Thank you for watching.